Hi everybody, it's Diane here with another Halloween project. I was in a I don't know what to do mode. So it crossed my mind I have a couple old book covers that, literally fell off an old book and I wasn't going to repair it. That's ridiculous. So to me. So let's make a collage or something on this. That's pretty cool. And since it's black, well, it's a super dark gray and it's so grunged up and it's that time of year. Let's do Halloween. Anybody on the planet recognize, somebody on the planet must recognize that. It is a book and it had an accompanying 45 record that I never had. That was at my school though, when I was in grade school. And it was the big must check out book, this time of year. I think they might even have had it, because of the record. We could listen to it in the music room, or they had it in the music room or something, but really, Diane, who cares? Anyway, that's a copy of the book cover. I have the book. I never had it as a kid. It was on, I don't know, Etsy probably, well, it probably still is, 20 some years ago or something. And I bought it because I just had to have it from having, such a strong memory of it, right? Anyway, as she usually says, I don't know what I'm going to do with it. A lot of my Halloween stuff is a little more on the cutesy side. I don't like the scary stuff. So I don't know if that goes with. And because of this cool, oh so psychedelic and mod painting back there, we could emulate that somehow. Oh, that gate would be good. Okay, take the gate. And is this too big, too small? We could even do it this way. I don't know. Maybe that's better. My plan is, assuming it works out, to just stand it up as a decor. You could probably frame it. This corner is awfully damaged. It would probably stay in a frame. You could glue wire, string or something on the back too. Do they still make those little? I know years ago they're like little paper things that had like a I don't know, was it a hook? I don't, but had like a thing you could peel off to stick on the back of something like this. Do they still make those? We don't know, Diane, 'cause we don't know what you're talking about. Was that from the same era as this book? Yeah, actually, I think it was. And actually, I have a small collection of this era Halloween books. I wasn't really sure which one I wanted to do. There was another cover I was thinking about, but we went with this one. So actually, if this is not working out at all, I could get a different cover. But I have a feeling it will work in some way. Okay. That's something. Now you could paint a, evil cloudy sky with a moon in it. That, you want to paint like that, go ahead. Well, maybe. I don't know. We're not convinced on that. I have, see if she can find it, a portion of a paper that has, a sky and trees on it. I think tree silhouettes. But I know I used part of it, so I don't know how much of it was left. Is this it? Oh, this isn't it. But that might be nice. Yeah, bats are really nice, Diane. And I don't want to cover all of this. I mean, it's cool. Um, I don't know that the color goes with it. What do you think? You know, I'm not a big fan of fonts like that, but what would that even look like? I don't mean fonts. I mean like a big lettering, a big lettering. Nah, unless we did. Yeah, how about that? Fright. Uh, she's so convinced. Well, all right, then where's the tree paper? Oh, this, I bought this last year, never used it. Well, it was late in the season. That's very cool, but as you can see, the printing is so darn dark. Would that be better? um, Diane, do you want to stop and erase this whole video up to this point? Maybe. This looks nice on the black. But I still maintain that this printing is very dark. Can you even see? Well, let's separate them. Since this is a very similar house, it's okay. Those are better. I admit it. All right, do you put both of them on together? Good question. All right, now we have to totally shift gears. And Diane, the gear shifter. Well, okay. Because of this new direction, and this is going to be really hard to tell with all this white on here, but we definitely don't want to go cutesy. I don't think. Could still go the paint route in some way. Here, let's get rid of the bottom edge, and maybe that'll clue us in a little bit. Or some of us. That might work. Although it kind of looks like she has double hats there. Maybe that would be better. Okay. There's a couple ravens. These pumpkins wouldn't be too bad a bat. Very good, Diane. It's a bat. This almost looks like the Batman logo, doesn't it? Okay, now this doesn't say anything at this point. So do we want to say Halloween or 31 or October or some such thing? I don't know, Diane, it's your thing that you keep changing. You know, these pumpkins aren't bad. They're a good color. I guess they're the same. Upside down, they looked a little different from that one. Cheesecloth crossed my mind with this. I may want to seal it, in which case I don't think cheesecloth is a great idea. You would have to do it after the fact. So don't seal it, don't use cheesecloth. Go ahead and seal it and use cheesecloth. Those are your options. And you'd be thrilled to know I gotta run off here like I should have left 5 minutes ago. Well, I didn't know I was gonna change my mind. And don't despair, I'll do something with that other haunted house image. Okay. Oh yeah, actually that's nice. Okay, I like that the best so far. Let's take this small one. I won't cut it out. I can't cut it out. Come on. I mean fussy cut it. All right. Maybe something there like this. That's okay. I don't think it goes that great. You know, you could cut out the letters and splash them around. The N is kind of cut off. What's that all about? Must have been, yeah, it's a Tim Holtz paper. Didn't he have a Halloween pad years ago? It must have been on there. Or in there. That would be kind of cool. A fleur-de-lis. Another bat. Really, Diane? That's so interesting. I know. We know what it is. We could see. All right, tell you what, folks, since I should be leaving anyway 10 minutes ago, let me fussy cut this stuff. Well, let me leave. When I come back, I'll fussy cut this stuff and we'll kind of take it from there. I think this is screaming for some kind of paint or something. Do I have silver paint anymore? Tell me quick. I don't think I do. All right, hang on, come back. Okay, we're cut. We're turned. We're not glued down. I borrowed the end from Candy because I don't think I would ever use that. What do I have in common with Candy? Anyway, this is a approximate arrangement. I think I want to spatter though, is why I did not glue anything down. I'm also toying with the idea of edging the two main images. But I don't know. And so I don't want to do it and decide I don't like it. Let's just lay a paper. I mean, it would be very narrow in white or silver. I don't know. I got a whole basket of cutoffs here, and not one of them wanted to wanted to cooperate. What do you think? You can say you like it without it. It's more, integral to the piece. You can say you like it. It makes it stand out a little more. I think I like it. Okay. And I also think with this crease here in this cover, it almost makes it look like it is a book cover that's open. And that's part of the spine. I had no intention of inferring that, but that's what it looks like. Okay. I did not cut the raven's legs out there. Forget it. So I'm going to, when all said and done, I'm going to go in with dark gray or black and just fill that in with paint. All right, let's spatter a little bit. Take everything off. You could do it vertically. I was just having more trouble with it. I think that looks a little more interesting, artistic, if I can say that. This looks sort of predictable and lined up, and, you know what I'm saying? But I just was having too much trouble the other way. Yes, I have silver paint. No, it does not want to spatter too well. Spattering on my hands, I could tell that. Yeah, I think that's a good color. It's supposed to dry metallic. I don't know if you'll be able to tell, with just little dots, but if it doesn't look so metallic, the color is still good to me, anyway. Okay, are you thinking if I want to outline these or border the images, do I want to do silver? Silver, white. You could do, well, you can do any color you want. You want to do hot pink? Go ahead. I wouldn't recommend it. Well, this is open. I also thought of distressing the edges, which would expose some white, and so that would stand out that way. That would be pretty darn cool. But in the I think I'm going to seal it department, I don't think that's going to work too well. Oh, now that these edges are wet, I was also thinking of coloring in the jack-o'-lantern's eyes with white or yellow or orange. That would be kind of cool. All right, we need some spatters in the middle. And I have to let this stuff dry now. By the way, talking about different ways to hang it, you could punch holes in the corner and use like a narrow chain or a wire as a hanger. That would be kind of cool, especially if you have eyelets, which I don't own. All right, do we want a secondary spatter color like yellow or orange just to add? Let's do a little yellow. Then you were spattering with this stuff not being covered. Oops. By the way, when I said it was ridiculous to put this cover back on, that's because this is an old beat up dictionary that I'm cutting up anyway, ripping up. But if you want to replace a cover, be my guest. Whoops. That's okay. All right. Diane, why did you cap that? I don't know. Okay. All right. I have to let this stuff dry. I may glue down and then we'll take it from there, but hang on again. Okay. This is all glued. I went in with a gel pen and then I decided to do some of the windows and I did a little test. Can you put Mod Podge over gel pen on a scrap paper? Yes, you can, so that's fine. Okay. It's a little lacking. You know, hello, hello. Negativity here. My first thought, however, was some stars. Let's do this is a corner punch, but you can use it for the stars. And this is just part of an old book page that's yellowed. I don't think I wanted white. I may not even want, oh, that's not bad. They're so little. Oh, that's pretty good. Okay, I won't bore you with that. I'll do that around. I also have gold. Want to see that quick? The only problem with a corner punch is you need a corner, right? It's part of a old envelope. Oh, we missed part. We weren't on the corner. Uh, that's okay if you can get stars that aren't funky shapes. All right, where'd the other one go? I don't know, I lost it. But okay. Okay. So for this stuff, you know, you can fill in. I'm still thinking maybe a little cheesecloth here and there. Probably white, although black crossed my mind, which would be more textural, not so much that you can see it. And speaking of crossing my mind, I did do a plaque years ago that I varnished it and then I glued cheesecloth to it. So you can do that. I had forgotten that. It's allowable. No, I mean, it seems like it stays. It sticks okay. I have these spooky things that I thought we have trick or treat. We have a black one. We have black and green, which would look good over there. Okay, we have a little banner. Should the raven be holding that? Because I'm not sure what to do with this. You know, you don't want to start making it look separate. That it's so maybe he could hold it over to here. And I know that's too short. But just that gave me the idea. I could cut my own triangles. Let's try that. Let's just grab some scraps. I have no scraps here available. I think I would try to do different patterns like they did instead of just one color. Okay, I think we would want them a little smaller than what I cut here. Like that size is a little better. Yeah, I think that's nice and it sort of bridges it more. Okay, I thought of bat, my bat punch. Did you bring the bat punch up? No, I forgot. And then, isn't this cool paper? This is new this year. I think I'm going to make cards, like for 2026. But anyway, since these are cut on the bottom, what if you put an owl at the bottom? I guess you wouldn't want there unless we get rid of the border banner. Yeah, I think that would be too competing with the raven. Okay. Do we want it at the bottom or do you want the orange one? I'm thinking blue because of this, but then again, orange. Let's try blue just to be different. And what I think is I would fussy cut. So, well, edge cut. So you don't have so much of the blue around. And then did we want a trick or treat thing over on the right? Well, did you go off and look for covers that were hanging off old books? No, this one just totally fell off by itself. All right, this isn't perfect, but good enough for now. It's kind of cool. All right, maybe if a trick or treat was over there, it would be kind of balance. Well, let's try the green one because that background on that is green. This paper is really old. It's thin, which is fine. There is a place for thin paper. It's easier to cut. It's easier to bend. Well, okay, to me, it almost needs to be in line with this. Okay, I'll work with that. A little negative here. We could spatter a little. But I think I'll pause, re-fussy cut these, make a real banner, look for the bat punch, do some more stars. Oh, I had one other thought. I have a few old upholstery tacks. Would that be something? Which I'll have to nip them off or bend them, put them in the corners, maybe? Be something to jazz it up. All right, well, I think when you come back next time, it'll be done. Hang on. Okay, I'm back. It's finished. The glue is a little wet on the cheesecloth. It is varnished. I Mod Podged first and then put craft acrylic varnish on it. Banner worked out well. I added some punch bats. This one caught the window light, that's why it's orange. I did a little white gel pen right there. This is part of the paper. I didn't cut it right up against the black, not intentionally, but when I saw it, down, it looked better. So I added white to this side so you could see the hat a little better. I added a few more stars. I think that's it. I did put the tacks in the corner. That worked out fine, except for I nipped off the backs, except it's not super flush. I have to re-nip, file it. I don't know. It's because they're sharp. I don't totally recommend using upholstery tacks. Use them at your own risk. Okay. So if you find a book cover that you have no intention of replacing or putting back on the book, maybe you could do something with it like this. Kind of cool. Okay, everyone, thanks for watching. I hope you have a nice day.